Hello and welcome to Addicted to the Mouse. Today is Sunday, August 26th, and you're listening to episode number 62. Today we're talking about the top 10 ways people sabotage their own Walt Disney World trip.
Hey everybody, Dan and Leslie here. Thanks for joining us this week. Before we get into this super fun topic of how you can sabotage your own vacation, we would love for you guys to reach out to us and let us know what you want to hear about. So
Exactly.
Yep.
It's a good message.
Yeah.
Good message.
Shoot us an email at Dan and Leslie, LESLIE, at addictedtothemouse.com, or connect with us on Facebook, Instagram. And then, as always, we would love it if you went over to iTunes and subscribe and like our podcast.
That is right. And continuing on with our new thing, this podcast is also going to be a video podcast. So if you like to see what we are talking about, you can head on over to YouTube and check it out there. You can search Addicted to the Mouse, or you can search our YouTube name, which is Worth Melting For, all one word with the number 4. And if you're watching this on YouTube, thanks so much. Go ahead and click that subscribe button if you want to get our newest videos from our trip reports and soon to be our How to Plan Disney series. So that should be fun.
Yeah, that's going to be a fun series.
Yeah. All right.
All right. So here's what we did this week. I actually was the one that organized the podcast. So Dan has no idea.
I've done nothing. Here we go.
Dan has no idea what I'm getting ready to say.
Looking forward to it.
All right. So I have come up with a list of 10 ways that you can sabotage your own trip.
Which I'm sure you know firsthand from planning all these Disney vacations, right?
Well, yeah. And I mean, we've done a couple of them, actually.
Oh, great. Now I'm a little nervous. All right.
All right. Number 1.
Yes. Wait. Are you starting at number 1 or number 10? I think you should count down.
Okay. Great idea. Okay, so number 10.
Okay.
Dismissing a park.
Okay.
All right, so by this I mean...
We've never done this.
Like, just not visiting a park because you don't think it's going to be of any interest to you and you don't think there's anything of value there.
Like thinking that Animal Kingdom is just a zoo?
Yes. Yeah, so that's a common thing that I hear is that Animal Kingdom is just this big giant zoo and we have a zoo in our hometown, so why would we go to the park?
Yeah, it's really so much more than a zoo.
It really, really is. And then I've also heard a lot of people, and I think we've even said it, like Hollywood Studios is not that great right now. I mean, now that Toy Story Land is open, it is much better, and it's going to be even better once Star Wars Galaxy's Edge.
It's going to be pretty amazing once Star Wars comes in. Yeah, okay.
But a lot of times people will choose just to not go there because it's a smaller park or there's not as much to offer. But I think every single park has something different and unique to offer your family.
I agree with that. Okay.
All right.
I like it.
So number 9, we've actually done this, zigzagging across the park.
True. Yes. Sometimes it's unavoidable.
It's true. Yes. But I think one way you can avoid this catastrophe.
I don't know if it's a catastrophe. First, what do you mean by zigzagging across the park?
So if you plan a meal that is, say, we're going to use Magic Kingdom, okay? So let's plan our meal over at Skipper Canteen, and then right after our meal, we have a Fast Pass for Space Mountain. And then we have a Fast Pass for Splash Mountain. And then we have another Fast Pass for Tomorrowland Speedway. So basically you're going from Adventureland over to Tomorrowland, back to Frontierland, and then back to Tomorrowland, where you're going back and forth across the park. You're going to wear yourself out by the time all that's done.
So you're saying to actually come up with a touring plan that makes sense. Look at a map before you schedule your meals and fast passes.
Yep.
Excellent.
Or even better,
point.
use a travel agent.
Yeah. Where would you find one of those?
I don't know. For those that are just listening, I am a travel agent that specializes in Disney vacations.
Plug myself there, yes. All right, I like it. All right.
Okay, so number 8, not exploring Disney Springs.
Yeah, what is wrong with you crazy people?
So, I mean, people look into Disney World and they think that it's just all about the parks, and it's not. There is so much more than just the parks. Whether it's Disney Springs, which is one of our favorite places. If you've listened to us at all, you know that we pretty much go there every time, every
Love
day.
Disney Springs, yes.
Every day of our vacation.
Yep.
But also the resorts. The resorts have tons to offer. So not exploring the things that are outside the parks, I guess is what I should have said more specifically.
Okay.
What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, I love Disney Springs.
Yeah.
So
whether it is one day of your trip that you schedule in some time, or a little bit of time, several days, or a little bit every day, just like we do, whatever it is, I think you need to get over there because it's amazing.
Yeah, I like to do Disney Springs and resort as my downtime.
Yeah.
Like instead of like taking a nap in the room, I don't want to be in the parks all day, every day, open to close, because that would just exhaust us. But I don't necessarily want to go sleep in the room either.
Right.
So going to shop at Disney Springs, it's a great downtime, and you can have some good snacks and get a drink or something over there. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Number 7, letting the rain ruin your day.
Yeah, there's a lot of rain in Florida.
Yeah. It typically, I mean, if you've ever been to the islands, to like the Caribbean, you know that it often will just rain a little bit every day.
Especially in the summer.
Yeah. And Florida tends to do that as well. And I hear grumbling from other people sometimes whenever we're walking through a building about that it's raining on their vacation, or I've heard people complain to cast members that it's raining. And rather than let it ruin your vacation, just come prepared and go with it.
Go with the flow. I mean, there's rides that you get wet on, so who cares?
Yeah, absolutely. So bring some ponchos, keep forging forward. Try to find a little, if it's too awful bad, try to find a little place to tuck away in.
Well, there's plenty of cover. I mean, you can do shops, you can do shows that are inside. I mean, even find a queue that you need that is inside, and just stand in line and wait for a ride.
Yep. Because rain's going to happen no matter what. So it's all about your perspective.
Yep.
All right.
Flip side of that tip is to go to the dollar store and get some cheap ponchos.
Oh, yes. Yeah. And those also help with the rides that you do get wet on. You can just throw those ponchos on and then throw them in the trash afterwards.
That is true.
So, all right. Number 6, not taking the opportunity to act like a kid again.
Ooh, I like it.
So, we are all grown-ups and we have to live our grown-up life.
It's debatable, but yeah, sure.
And we have jobs and pay bills and all of that. And when you go to Disney, it's like you get to throw all that out the window and you get to be goofy and you get to meet the characters and get excited about silly things and watch everything through your kids' eyes. And it's just a great place to be silly. And I honestly think that if you let yourself be silly, it makes your trip even better.
I like it.
And it creates more memories.
Yeah.
And your kids think you're kind of cool up to a certain age.
Right.
All right. Number 5, not planning anything.
So, yes, this could definitely sabotage your trip because I think planning too much is probably a good way to sabotage your trip, but not planning anything. I mean, if you have any dining needs, I mean, planning that 6 months in advance is required for a lot of places. Rides, fast passes, if you wait till the day of, you're not getting the best rides or fast passes scheduled.
Yeah. And I mean, if you've listened to previous episodes, we have talked about last minute trips, and last minute trips are great. But not going in with any type of plan or knowledge, it's going to make the vacation not as fabulous as it probably could have been.
Yeah. I guess the caveat to that is if you don't do any planning, you don't know what you're missing.
Yeah.
But you're going to miss some stuff.
Yeah.
So, all right.
All right. So number 4 is planning every last detail. And
hey, this is what I just said.
Yeah, I know.
Great minds think alike.
And sticking to it so that you miss out on the little moments. So
yeah, so this is a great point. So if you are listening to this, then you are probably on board for planning, at least some planning, right? So plan. What we like to do is kind of plan in sections. So like plan what our morning is going to look like, plan what our afternoon is going to look like, and plan what our evening is going to look like. For our family, it works to schedule one, maybe sometimes two sit-down meals per day, and then do snacks or quick service. With the rest of them. Obviously, we're scheduling fast passes and where we go, where we're going to stay, and because we're doing that, we're choosing which parks we go to. But other than that, we kind of let it happen.
Yeah.
And I think if you're scheduling everything to try and fit it all in, which believe me, you're not going to fit it all in. I don't care how long you're going to be there. You're not going to fit it all in. There's tons of stuff that we still haven't done. But if you try to schedule everything, you're just going to get frustrated because stuff will happen. It will rain. The bus will be late. The restaurant will lose your credit card for 45 minutes, which has happened. So, yeah, absolutely. Don't, even if you do plan a lot just because you like it, when something derails your plan, just go with the flow.
Yeah. Well, and I think back on our trips and little moments that we would have missed out on had we not just seized the moment. So, for instance, watching the little pirate show with Captain Jack Sparrow out across the way from Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah.
You know, that was a great memory that we have now. But had we just gone, oh, we have somewhere else to be, we got to go, I feel like we would have missed out on that awesome memory. So,
yep, exactly. Yeah.
So there's lots of just little hidden things and just taking that time to enjoy your family and not just sticking to every single bit of planning that you've done. All right. Number 3, not preparing yourself for the cost. Just at least glance at a menu or two before you go so that you can wrap your head around the fact that a hot dog in Disney World is going to probably cost you $12 or $13.
Yeah, it's crazy expensive. I mean, we were having this conversation last week that as soon as you leave and you go to a fast food restaurant and you're like, oh my goodness, I can get an entire family's worth of food here for the cost of one plate at Disney World. It's crazy. Yeah, so that's a good point because we've talked to people before that have gone and maybe they even knew how much it was going to cost, but really once you get there, if you don't fully understand how much it costs, every single time you scan your Magic Band to pay for something or pull out your wallet and grab that credit card, it just kind of puts a damper on it, right?
Yeah.
So, and it's not just the food. It's, if you like to get drinks or if you want to get some souvenirs are expensive.
Yeah.
And it's the little bitty things. I mean, a park ticket will get you into the parks and into the rides, but there are all these little tiny things that you don't think of. You want a coffee mug to take with you, or you want to grab a Mickey bar on the way, or your children want to get done up at Bippity Boppity Boutique or whatever.
Yeah. Yep. So just kind of prepare yourself for the cost. It is more expensive. And if you go into it knowing kind of a general idea of how much money you're going to spend, you're just not as stressed every time you get that receipt and have to sign off on another something or another.
Yes, I totally agree. And if you are the type of person that was going to watch those dollars like a hawk, maybe pre-plan, and so either get the dining plan and roll it into the cost, so all you have to do is pay tips when you go, or maybe get some Disney gift cards. You can save 5% if you do the Target Disney gift card thing, if you buy them with the Target Red card.
Mm-hmm.
And then take those with you, and you can pay for almost everything at Disney World with Disney gift cards, so you can do that. So just put it in the back of your head that it's going to cost some money, but as long as you're okay with that, I mean, you're going to Disney World, have fun.
Yep, absolutely. All right, so number 2 is thinking that it's ridiculous to get a stroller for your 6-year-old.
Yeah, so I mean, you walk a ton. We don't do park open to park close all day long every day, and we walk 7 to
9 probably miles.
Yeah, I was going to say 10 or 11
Yeah.
miles a day, and I mean, yeah, you wouldn't put a 7-year-old in a stroller when you're going to Walmart in your hometown, but that's a lot to ask for a 7-year-old. I mean, that's I'm
Yeah.
shocked because when we first went, Aiden was 6 and Jennings was 1, and Aiden didn't have a stroller.
I can't believe
I can't believe he did it.
complain. I know.
I can't believe he did it. But yeah, I mean, we just went in spring break, and Jennings was almost 7, and he had a stroller, and he needed it.
Yep.
I
think he napped a couple of times in it, even,
I
which he
mean,
doesn't nap at home ever.
It is. It is
So,
a different world. It is a different world when it comes to everything. When you're in Disney, and it's Disneyland, Disney World, whatever. But I mean, price goes out the window. It's like the airport. Like everything is really expensive at the airport, food wise.
Yeah.
Timing goes out the window. It may be 10:30 in the morning, and you're eating barbecue ribs or something. It's just, it's a different place. So yeah, think twice about that. I mean, a stroller for a 7-year-old could come in pretty handy.
Yep. And if you don't have a stroller at home because your child is older and doesn't need one anymore, Kingdom Strollers is a fantastic place to rent from. And I prefer it over the park strollers simply because the park strollers you have to turn in at the end of the day. You rent it at the beginning and turn it in at the end, so you don't get it outside the parks. So Disney Springs, you don't have it, and the in-between time, walking to the bus, all of that, you don't have it. And
they're hard and plasticky.
And they're hard and plasticky, so it's harder for kids to sleep in. Whereas Kingdom Strollers, it's a really nice, what is it called? A City Mini, I think is the brand.
Yep.
And it will lay all the way back.
They're not sponsoring this show, by the way.
Oh yeah, we just really love them. We rent from them every time we go, and they're phenomenal. So, and really great customer service as well. All right. So the number one
Yes.
way
Yes.
that you can sabotage your own vacation.
Lay it on me.
Are you ready for it?
Yes.
Is to expect your kids to behave perfectly because you're in the most magical place in the world.
Yes.
I can't even tell you how many times we have overheard some other family saying, "I don't know why you're crying. Do you know how much money I've spent on this vacation?"
Yes, because your kid cares when they are tired and, ooh, I've got a 1.5 for you that feeds into this.
Okay.
By sabotaging your own vacation, you will do so if you do not plan some rest time.
That is true.
This goes into this whole kid thing because I'm telling you, kids do not change their personalities just because you dropped $5,000 or $6,000 on a week-long vacation and you're forcing them to get up at 7 a.m. and stay up till midnight to watch the fireworks and meet all these characters and smile and take pictures and all this stuff. Like they're not changing. So Don't expect them to change. Don't be surprised if they get tired and cranky. It's going to happen. So, on a daily basis, I would say you probably, if you have young kids or just cranky adults with you, I would say you probably need to schedule some sort of rest time. Does that mean that we go back and take naps every day? No, it does not. But we do not go. We will take maybe a couple of hours in the afternoon and go maybe have a long meal or go back and swim, or we have taken naps before. Or you could even just like sit in a lounge and soak up some air conditioning.
Yeah. Another way that we do rest time, which this sounds kind of weird, I guess, but is letting the kids run around someplace. So, if they're cooped up in a stroller or they're having to hold somebody's hand or we're constantly in a trying to stick together plan and they don't get that time to just really, really burn that energy and release all of that pent up energy that they have and get to just run around and play like in the boneyard or at a splash pad or something like that. Sometimes that'll just even help rejuvenate everybody where they've gotten to run it off and have some fun and kind of unrestricted fun.
I like it.
Yeah. So you got anything else? Got any other ways that people can sabotage?
Ways that people sabotage their own vacation. That's a pretty good list.
Yeah.
I like it, yeah.
I can think of one other way that we kind of have done this before, and that is we have put some expectations on Jennings to ride a ride, and he agreed to riding it, and then whenever he backed out of it, it kind of, our reaction wasn't great. And so I think that's another way you can sabotage a day of your vacation, is having high expectations for your child to ride certain rides, and then whenever they get scared or they don't want to, you know.
Yeah, and that's true. I mean, we were, disappointed, of course, because we wanted to ride it all together as a family and get the ride photos or whatever. But that's also, I mean, I've heard from a lot of people that, and our family too. I mean, kids will change their mind from day to day.
Yeah.
So like Jennings, when he was younger, he rode Splash Mountain, said he hated it, then talked about it again, and then wanted to ride it, rode it again, then hated it, and then refused to ride it a third time. Or he may have ridden a ride that was kind of like a roller coaster and loved it, and then a year later was scared of it.
Yeah.
I mean, because they changed their minds, so it's just weird. So again, that kind of goes back to, don't expect your kid to conform to what you want them to do just because you're on this magical vacation.
Yep.
And it is a magical vacation. It's just you can't unrealistically expect some things, and you'll get frustrated and you'll get bummed out, and that's normal. But again, it's really all with going with the flow.
Yep.
I mean, because a bad day at Disney World is still a pretty good day, right? I mean,
Absolutely.
it's still a pretty good day.
Matter of fact, I just posted on our social media the other day that Fridays are pretty good mornings, but the best mornings are Disney mornings.
Well, yeah.
Any day of the week.
Absolutely.
So
Can't get around that. So, yeah, okay.
All right. So if you have a way that you know of to sabotage your own vacation, let's hear it.
Don't do it.
Yeah, don't do it. But just tell us about it so that all the rest of us won't do it either. So shoot it in an email or comment below. We would love to hear how you've ruined your vacation or seen other people ruin their vacations.
Yes.
As well.
Absolutely.
All right. You got anything else?
I don't think so.
Okay. So until next time.
You've been listening to Addicted to the Mouse.